Hi Leo, my name is Audrey Alison. Thank you for joining me for your August 2017 forecast for the month. I'm shuffling the Connolly Tarot deck by Peter and Eileen Connolly. It's an Irish Celtic deck that I've been drawn to for the week. I'm also drawing one intuition card from Madame Lenormand's deck that I've had for a couple decades. It's so worn, but I've never brought this out in public. It's a very private deck that I started training on to expand my own personal intuition and psychic abilities. So I'll draw a card from here, and if you like the vibe from this, consider watching my Vimeo on demand, where I'll be using this deck for August and September, and some treats on Vimeo that you might be interested in. But let's start the astrological forecast because it is eclipse season and we have a Mercury retrograde, and the eclipses are activating right at the top of the month on the 7th. We have a full moon lunar eclipse at 15 degrees of Aquarius. And Leo, this brings some closure to your 7th house of partnerships, business, or relationships. There's a full culmination, full release, and a sweeping of the carpet around the 7th of August. Some Leos, not all of you, will be choosing to separate at this time. And this would apply to people who are actually going through some problems in their marriage, or anyone that has been contemplating whether or not to exit a relationship. Eclipse season will see things usually shake up. And if you've been on hold or stagnant in that area and you can't really come to a decision, it's hard to make it through the eclipses without the guidance of the universe and the cosmos kind of realigning and redirecting you. So either you might feel inspired to make this choice, and there's a few reasons why. There is a magnificent energy for Leo this month, and out of all 12 signs, Leo and Leo rising are implementing a fresh new start into their life. And it has to do with where the next eclipse takes place, but also the retrograde's influence and the planet of Venus. So I'm getting ahead of myself because I get excited. But the full moon eclipse in your 7th starts this feeling of what's working for me and where does everything fit in terms of relationship and business partnership. Now, for those of you who aren't in relationship, you could finally see a finality or a release from a past connection that you've been holding on to. Maybe you've had hope someone would come back or reconvene. I think you're ready to put the nail into that coffin here and lay it to rest in a peaceful way. Allow this eclipse to eclipse out any old wounds or hurts that you've been holding on to from past divorces or breakups, or even business partnerships that didn't work out. It's time to release that energy and move forward. On the 12th, Mercury is retrograding at 11 degrees of Virgo through September 5th, going into Leo by 2 degrees. So at the 28 degree mark of Leo, Mercury will then go direct on September 5th. So the retrograde initially takes place for Leo in the 2nd house of money, which could slow down your reserves at that time. It could allow you, though, the ability to really review all of the monies, all of the banking, to get your hands in all of that and figure out where your money is, where it's going, all of the budget. This is also going to test your own self-confidence, so please know how you're thinking about yourself. You're your own harshest critic, and when Mercury is retrograde in the 2nd, self-esteem can be up and down, and your self-confidence and your own self-value, the value you put on your own worth, it tends to be, what's the right word? Reviewed, but it's not always at its highest. It's not at 100% confident. So with the review here, you can find that you're weakened in those areas. So don't judge yourself too harshly here. Now on the 1st of September through the 5th, Mercury's retrograding in your 1st house of self. So in general, with Mercury, the planet of communication and smaller technologies and travel. It's not the best time to publish websites, to go on those trips. It's a technical, glitchy kind of retrograde. And when the planet of intellect slows down, your ability to process slows down. And your ability to understand what's being communicated to you on both ends is a little awry, especially ensconced between two eclipses where the energy is really awry. This is not a time for those who do candle work or practice a lot of magic. You don't want to do any candle work on eclipses. It can be picked up and brought into different areas, especially if you're working with astrology in your practices. It's just not a time for solid, exact, powerful energy. It's all over the place. And with Mercury retrograding on top of it being the planet of communications, it's retrograding in your first house of self and body in that September time period. So watch what you're saying and how you're saying it. Make sure everything is what you mean. And maybe keep your mouth shut the first 5 days of September too. You don't want to regret anything that you're saying, or you don't want to be too wishy-washy either. And with Mercury retrograde here, I just feel like Leo isn't saying everything right just yet. It's better to process. Keep it internal, hone it in, and don't really deliver a lot of messages until Mercury is direct. Now, on the 21st, we have our new moon solar eclipse, also at 28 degrees of Leo, the same degree in which Mercury went direct. And I find that intriguing. I'm a numbers person, but there's something to that. And having it in your first house again, this new moon solar eclipse, I don't recommend driving on the 21st. When you are eclipsed in the body, when your sign is eclipsed and you have energy under that sign, you're not in your right subconscious mind. We all go inward in an eclipse in that phase. You could be driving around literally awake but unconscious. So not the best day for taking risks. I can't say that word ever. Risks. There you go. Not the greatest day for that. And in fact, a couple days before and after, I still would take it real easy. This is not the time to go skydiving. I wouldn't want you to take any risks in the body either. When you're working out, if you can take off some days, don't push your body too much. It's a lot of energy. And I feel like Leo is so fiery and wanting to push forward and loves a good adventure and all things fun and playful and powerful and dynamic. You just want to tread lightly around this eclipse, and there's a fresh start for you though. Okay, so don't push the physical self, but be prepared here. You are starting anew. And Mercury even going direct at that point, if you're lucky enough to know the time of your birth, please watch your ascendant sign and look at your charts and see where you hold 28 degrees of Leo. Also, you might want to consider booking an astrological reading with me, an Astro Tarot reading, and we can get down to it. But this is a fresh start. It's like a reset button for Leo and Leo rising. So get ready. You could be revealing a whole new body, a whole new physical presence by the 21st of August. This is a very powerful time for Leo. And I think that you will see that in the tarot. I'm feeling like I might get some powerful cards here. On the 22nd, the sun enters Virgo. Now this helps the retrograde that's initiated in the second house, because then the sun conjunct Mercury is then in the second house. So you have the powerful life force and recuperating some of that monetary stall or depletion that might have occurred with Mercury retrograde there. Having the sun in the second, we'll see some money come back in and could actually get you feeling a little more confident. On the 25th, Saturn is going direct at 21 degrees of Sagittarius. And for Leo and Leo rising, we can't wait for Saturn to get out of our 5th house. Has it not been, I mean, it's very restrictive energy in the 5th house that we love: fun, gambling, taking risks, leisure, whatever you do for fun, and true love and romance. Saturn's having us learn lessons, and I mean, enough with the lessons. It's a lot. So having Saturn go direct is just a step forward, closer to December 21st, 2017, when this planet leaves this sector and doesn't return for 27 to 30 years. Yay! So that's a good what do I want to say? That's a good vibe. Saturn out of the 5th eventually, but going direct on the 25th. And on the same day, Venus enters Leo. So Venus in the 1st house of self on the 25th. There is a new body for Leo. There's a new self. Venus has you looking your best. You are attracting people to you. Going into September, I don't think a lot of Leos will be single. Even if you end something in August, you'll pick something up next month. Venus is going to have you looking and attracting the right people to you. Let's get to the cards and see what comes up for you. And if you'd like to read with me, I'm at audreyalison.com. I read all through the week, and you can select your desired reading length via the PayPal button, and I will get back to you in an email in just a few days, and we'll set it up. Also, if you're interested in how I connect with the Tarot, and if you're interested in learning more about the Tarot process, consider taking my course that I wrote and published on March 20th. It's called The Magic of Tarot, and it's open anytime. You can register. And for the price of a 30-minute tarot reading, you have access to the course for 3 weeks. So it's been cool. If you're interested, check it out. The first card for Leo. Well, hello, Queen of Wands. Oh, this reminds me of my cat Monkey. Honestly, that looks just like Monkey. I know that it's just a simple black cat, but even the energy of that cat reminds me of my little boy that I used to have. Okay, so the Queen of Fire. The Queen of Fire is Leo, and let's keep it at that for now, although I am really drawn to her shield right now. Ooh, and the pyramids. You're headed to the desert, baby. You're headed where it's warm. Oh, and I'm getting, you know what? I actually think I'm getting a little message for myself. That's funny. Okay, let's keep her aside. Keep your shield up, too. A little bit of protection here. Don't let everybody in, is what I'm getting. Wow. Wheel of Fortune. This hasn't come up in any of the other signs, and I've done 7 readings so far. This is the right timing. When that wheel clicks, it locks and the whole thing opens up. This is the solar eclipse in the 1st house for Leo. Divine timing, fate, transformative change, changing of the body and of the self. I'm getting really emotional. I'm a Leo rising, and I feel like some of these messages are applying to me right now. 8 of Swords. This is what I'm getting. Oh my gosh. Hi, Saturn. This is the restrictive energy. See how he's like imprisoned, or she, this androgynous person, trapped behind the bars? Saturn in the 5th house might have some Leos feeling like this, but I'm getting some Phoenix from the ashes, from Phoenix rising happening right now. 4 of Coins. Stability, earth, establishing roots, savings, monetary savings, the 2nd house. When the sun enters the 2nd house, you know, the Mercury retrograde influence has some of these coins down here, but you can receive some when the sun, by the time the sun comes, is what I'm getting. You have one more card, King of Cups. This is a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces male. This is also your highest intuitive self, other than the High Priestess. The King of Cups is kind, compassionate, intuitive, warm, receptive, and emotional. Some of you might have been trapped in some kind of relationship with a water sign or feeling stuck in it. But divine timing suggests full moon eclipse in the 7th, you might get rid of something that's keeping you stuck. And this, I love. This is someone with creative drive and passion. This is an entrepreneur. This is a woman who is a leader, not a follower. This is someone who takes action upon all their goals. Gosh, I love those pyramids, and I like that green pyramid too. There's riches. There's riches for Leo. Keep a little guarded is what I want to say with that. Let me pull an intuitive card too and see which one it is for Leo. This is all feeling very good to me, and as an empath, it's important to me how I feel in a reading. So let's see, Leo. What? Look how sweet. These are all of the cards. There's 36 of them. These are all the pictures of the cards, and you got the heart, the one in the corner here. And it is love. It is self-love too. It's not just the love you receive from others. There is no other important love than the love you give yourself, because no one's ever going to be around forever. It's impossible. So love, gosh, I mean, new moon solar eclipse in the 1st house of self-love and body, and I think that Leo is going to feel accomplished and in love with their life, in love with life, vitality, romance. You know, just because, you know, full moon eclipse in the 7th doesn't mean other opportunities can't come in. So I hope this was helpful for you, Leo. I'm wishing you a beautiful birthday and solar return. And the sky is limitless, remember. So reach for the stars.